Scott Mitchell here with It's My Game Speaker Highlights. It's My Game Kids Tennis Conference. Remember, it's August 14th to the 23rd. You can go to conference.evolve9.com to register. It's a global virtual conference like never before. There's going to be stuff for an entire year for many of us. We have over 20 speakers. We have over 40 hours of content. And like I said, we're going to have availability for you to go and view things for over a year, and different content will come up, but you also have access to all of this information for a year's period of time. So today we're talking with Kris. Welcome, Kris.
How are you doing? I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us. You're now the project manager for Judy Murray Foundation. Tell us a little bit about what you do there with Judy Murray's foundation.
Well, our foundation is set up specifically for Scotland, and what we do is we go into socially disadvantaged and rural areas all across Scotland, and we build workforce out of the local community. So the beauty of it being you don't need to have any tennis background. Our catch cry we quite often use is, as long as you have a smile and a pair of trainers, you're more than welcome to come along. So we build the workforce out of anyone in that community: teachers, students, volunteers, other sports coaches, and of course tennis coaches if there are some there, and we train them up how to deliver fun, starter, easy to do tennis.
That's great. Now, you've been super successful with working with all ages and all levels of play. Tell us a little bit about your character-centered coaching philosophy.
Well, I created that. I can actually remember very clearly. It was 2001, and I had an abundance of coach education up to that point, and I got to a stage where I was saturated and I didn't really believe or know what I believed. So I sat down and I started the kind of cogwheel of my philosophy. And at the very center of it, I could not get away from, I'm more interested in developing the person than I am, or equally interested in developing the person as I am the tennis player. So really, I started to think about what character traits do successful tennis players have, and how those traits could seep and transfer into their everyday life. So I really have that at the center of everything that I do.
Wow, that's awesome. We need more coaches to be thinking about that for sure. Now, maybe mention, or what are your thoughts around some of the biggest challenges that we have getting more kids playing our sport?
I think one of the first big challenges is that there are way more other options for kids nowadays. When I played tennis, there were maybe a handful of sports. I tried them all and I chose tennis because I fell in love with it. But nowadays, screens, other activities, there's Netflix, there's so many different things that are grabbing kids' attention. That's one big challenge. I think one of the other things that we have to be better at in tennis is creating fun, informal, easy to do competition as some of their early experiences. I think competition around the world is still viewed as something that the best people do. And I think we need to create more team events, more fun, sociable, gentle introductions to competition, and get people hooked on the game, because we both know it's an amazing sport.
Oh, yeah. And I agree completely. As if we get the kids hooked early, they're going to stay with us for a long period of time. But if those first few exposures to the competition side isn't a good one, they're going to leave pretty quickly. So tell us a little bit about your presentation that you're going to do for us during the conference, Smart Kids, helping kids find their answers.
Well, the angle that I'm going to be coming at is very simple, that everything they do from the very second they get on the court will involve them working this just as much as their body. So we have one of the most complex coordination sports in the world. It's a cerebral sport. We need to think, move, and hit. And we need to be problem solving every single second that we are on the match court. So everything that I do in my Encore presentation will be based around getting people to problem solve and think, literally from the first warm-up exercise all the way through to the drills, and then the games that they'll play near the end.
So there's a purpose to everything that they do out on the court.
Yeah, they will have to problem solve. They will have to plan, almost like plan, execute, and then evaluate what they're going to do. But it'll be in the moment, and it will be very implicit. They won't have to be thinking too much in terms of consciously. A lot of the exercises will do the majority of the learning for them, and I can be there as the bumper bowling, supporting them along the way.
Well, so your presentation is going to be out on the court?
I've decided I'm going to go on court.
Good.
We're in Scotland. We are in our transition phase out of lockdown, and I think within a couple of weeks I'll be able to get a few players on the court. And I think it's more real if I show it with children rather than role play it or do it on a presentation. So I've decided that's what I'm going to do. I'll be mic'd up, so you'll be able to hear me no matter where I am on the court. You will see the kids have a lot of fun, but they'll be learning as we go through it as well.
That's great. We can't wait to see it. Kris, I appreciate your time. For those that want to register, remember, go to conference.evolve9.com. The conference is August 14th to the 23rd. You got plenty of time to register, and you'll see great presentations, live chats, and so much more. Thanks, Kris. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.